Hi guys, we're back.
We're back. You guys miss us?
It was so much.
Yeah. People have been watching and asking for more, so here we are.
Yeah, it was so much fun doing this with you guys last time. I really loved it. I love doing it with you. And today we're in Salt Lake City. We're here for our business learning, and it's just been awesome. We're here with a big group of our team, and we're having fun, but we're hidden away right now in our Airbnb. We're downstairs, hiding out.
Hiding. It's almost midnight. That's how much we love you guys.
Yeah, this is how you balance family and business. You don't.
But I don't recommend staying out to midnight too often.
No,
yeah,
and I usually don't. Yeah. And I'm gonna get rid of my gum here. Sorry. I want to chew that on camera. That's not polite, is it? Wasn't that good?
I told everybody it's not stealthy.
Yeah, right? Okay, so it was really funny because after Heather and I did our last one, we were talking about what we want to do next time. And we said, let's talk about balancing family and business. And then my friend Lee, hey Mike, my friend Lee messaged us and said, can you guys talk about balancing family and how do you homeschool and you know,
a mom and a wife and a business owner
and cook food, like eat real food,
yeah,
and those things, and trying to talk about that. So we're gonna talk about that
because we're not the only ones who do it, and it's a real struggle for people out there. So I think we've done a pretty good job. We are doing a pretty good job.
I think we are
balancing it. It's a learning process, but that's why if we could help you guys get some tips and tricks and things that you can have, like you're gonna not have to learn so much, like because there's not a lot of maybe successful stay-at-home and business owner homeschooling big families. Throw that one in there too. All together,
we have a few kids.
We have a few between the two of us. Or
we have 11 between the two of us, 5 and 6. So that's 11, right? Yeah. Okay.
We're homeschooling
it's
moms.
Late.
No. We teach math. No.
Yeah. So what do you think? What are some of your top tips for moms that are? Well, okay. Let's say this first. If they're looking at starting a business and they're wondering, can I throw this in the mix of what we're already doing? What do they? Yeah. Okay. You don't have to tell me that twice. Okay. If a person is looking at starting a business and they're a busy homeschool mom, what can they do?
My connection might be bad, but sorry. Go ahead. We're just gonna keep talking.
Did you hook onto the Wi-Fi?
I am, but it's still bad. Go ahead.
Okay. So what do you think? If they're looking at if this is something they could even fit in, what do you think they should? How can they tell if they can fit a job into what they're already doing? What do you think?
Well, we all only have 24 hours every day. I remember I was at your house actually many years ago when she gave me this booklet, and what's it called? The Managers of Your Homes. And you have to chart out what you want to do, and even include like how long do diaper changes take? If you have a nursing baby, how long does nursing? And you add up all your activities you want to get done in a day. And I think I remember both of us like we did that and we shared what we had, and it was well over 24 hours. I'm like, oh, we have to sleep too. Yeah. So we only all have 24 hours. I think me personally, and this has definitely developed more as I've done this longer, is that you need to know why you want to do what you're going to do. Why you're going to take your precious time maybe away from your family for a little bit. Yeah. And take that time to be super productive. And we're adjusting. You know, what situation are you in that you're wanting to change? You have to be really strong and passionate about knowing why. Why do you want to run a business? Why, you don't want to just go do it just because it's fun to do. Like, you really need to be passionate and know why you want to do it. And I mean, that's a starting point, I think, of course, finding a good company that you want to be with, but also just like knowing why. Like, why do you want to have more time freedom? Do you want to have more travel freedom? Do you want to have more financial freedom? Do you want to have your husband home? Like, that's our big goal, is to have, replace my husband's full-time income so he's home and can retire and be a full-time dad in the next 5 years.
That's awesome. Cool.
So know your why.
That's awesome.
Super important.
Yeah, I really think it is. I think that also we can look at what do we have in our life that we really could get rid of. Like, are you watching movies every day? Are you watching TV every day? Are you on Pinterest all the time? Or, do you have hobbies? Maybe you could turn your hobby into a business if that's what... For me, my hobbies have been businesses. I enjoy that game. I enjoy solving a problem, and it's just fun. But mom guilt is a real thing. That's something I think that could be a whole other topic about we could touch on. Yeah. But there has to be, like you said, that why, that definite goal. Like, it has to be for a reason. And if your reason's big enough, like for us, it was like to get out of debt before. That was really a motivating, driving factor for us. Is like we needed to get out of debt. And so we were working the side hustles. We were doing whatever we could to pay off those student loans. And those student loans went away. And then it was like, okay, what's the next goal? And for us, it was full-time travel. We wanted to be together. We wanted, husband home and on the road with us. And so that was a big part of it for us. But then, and then now, as we started traveling and we were like, okay, what do we really want to create? And that was part of why we traveled, was just to figure out exactly what we wanted.
Figure out your priorities in life, really. Write down your priorities.
Yeah.
Like, what are your priorities for you and your family?
And if you have things you can cut out, like, should you cut out running? If that's what your hobby is. No, because that's really good for you. But you might not be able to start a business and start training for a marathon at the same exact time.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Take on one thing at a time. Like if you're already training for a marathon and you're kind of in that, then I could see adding on, a business. Or if you're already going in your business and you're kind of figuring some stuff out, then you can throw that thing in. But starting 2 new things at the same time is very challenging, and I would discourage you highly from doing that.
If you have an activity that does not serve you or your family, cut it out.
Yeah.
Time's too precious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you,
time wasters.
Americans, you do too many activities. Like you do, and you take your kids to everything, and
they really want just time with you.
And you know what? Doing a business, and for us, a big thing was always
light bulbs going off all over people's.
They're like, what? They're like, I don't know, Melissa. For us, I wanted a business that our kids could do with us. That was a big part of our homeschool. So as we talk about, integrating homeschool in with our business, that was vital for us. And I think, there's no accidents. The children God puts in your family, and we are a very entrepreneurial family, and my children are growing up being mentored by that, and that's no accident, and so they're gonna, all of our children are gonna be really strong in certain areas and weaker in others. Every single person is, right? And so I think, just utilize those strengths that you have in your family and keep coaching and teaching around that. Help on weak parts, find mentors, but that is a big part of what we do, is making sure that the kids can do it with us. They can be a part of it somehow. Otherwise, for us, it did take too much time. I don't want to take too much time away from my kids. I want to be their main mentor in their life.
And that's one thing, honestly, in my opinion, like a lot of public schools are lacking, is that, we need to be raising our kids with integrity, with good character, with good morals, with good work ethic, and that things aren't going to get handed to them. And when they're seeing moms or dads or whoever building, or little sister or big sister or someone, it's just selling on Etsy or selling at the local craft fair, if they're seeing people taking steps and like, oh, I need to work to get something.
Sorry.
If I want extra spending money, mom's not just going to give it to me.
Right.
I need to go work for it.
Yeah.
Wait, how can, and so it starts their brains thinking, and we want to raise thinkers, because thinkers are changers.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
That's good.
You tell we're related. I totally, it's no accidents the babies God puts in your life, and I just, our kids are going to be raised, they're out of the box thinkers. That's what we have, they're not, even with homeschooling, okay, I think this is a big part of what Lee was talking about with homeschooling. We've really taken a more relaxed view with homeschooling, and we've really let our children and their interests guide a lot of their education. Now, I'm not saying, I'm still bossy, okay? I still tell them there's certain things I have to do, I can't get away from it as much as I try. But part of it is that we do set out a plan, and what do they want? What are their goals? And how can we set them up? Because I think that's life skills, right? Them taking charge of their education, even when they're 10. You guys, 10-year-olds can say, this is my goal. Okay, then let's work backwards. What do you need to do to get there? And start charting that and start working towards that. And so...
knowing their interests, too.
Yeah, and really finding out their interests, yeah.
You may have someone who doesn't want to write at all, but then you find out, or, they love dinosaurs, so don't make them go write about, geology or rocks. Like, go have them write about dinosaurs. Like, find out what their love is and the moment, and then have them base things around that. And they're gonna come up with stuff if you give them that space too. And a lot of times kids need space to be able to, like, mind space, really, and physical space, but mind space too, to be able to develop those things.
But I found that you can really do a lot less teaching that's like homeschooling moms. You probably could spend less time teaching your kids, honestly. Like the little kids that need you to read to them, they can only do like an hour a day. You know what I mean? Of like let's do real school. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Book work, sit down, read, write, whatever those things.
They're learning life skills.
Yeah. Because, I mean, how much better? Let's help make lunch. Let's read to your little baby brother. Like, really get the kids involved. Helping them. There's this book, one of my favorites. It's called Clean House. Clean Your House? I don't know. I always talk about this book, but I always forget the name of it.
I don't think I read it.
You have read it.
Maybe so. I've been
It's really good. It's really good. But she just talks about true confidence comes from having skills. Yeah. And we'll see a lot of times with kids that when they act all cocky and stuff, or I mean even teenagers more and 20-year-olds, it's usually this false confidence and it's just a lack of actual skills. But when our kids know how to do things, they're just confident, and they're not like jerky confident, but they can just like, if there's a problem, we'll figure it out, and we'll figure out how to do that, and And so I just think, get your kids to do more, because they're going to, even if they're a doctor or whatever, they're still going to cook and clean their whole life.
Yeah.
Help them to learn those skills really, really well. Help them take that off of your plate. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Douglas.
Another thing, too, is like I always tell, especially my older kids, my younger kids, too, but they don't understand it quite as much yet, but you can be the smartest person, book smart in the world, and we still do, we still do academics, of course, but you need to really focus on, like, what are your priorities? What kind of humans are you raising? And so I tell my kids, you can be the smartest person in the world. You can know it all up here. But if you have a stinky attitude, you don't know how to work, who wants to hire them?
Right?
Who cares how smart you are?
Preach.
Right? But if you have a good attitude, a cheerful attitude, a giving heart.
Mm-hmm. If you get there on time and you follow directions
and
you're
do your
kind.
Job.
Yeah.
Follow up, do your job. I mean,
right?
So it's a different. You got to really focus on. Sit down. Like, what are my priorities? What kind of humans do I want to be raising here? And you're going to notice that you don't need as much as you think you need, and they're learning a lot just from. But so relating this now back to blending it with business. So while you or your husband or your family is building your business together, they're learning. Your kids are learning every single thing.
Yes.
They pick up a lot.
Yeah.
And they're learning everything you're doing, even if it struggles. They're learning.
Yeah. How you handle the struggles, how you deal with it. Yeah.
And they're gonna be so much way more ahead of we are because
they better be.
Because we're putting a foundation, and so we try our best to learn from really amazing mentors, which is awesome. But we're getting to mentor that to our children, and we've been meeting some people that have been raised in that mentoring, leadership, personal growth from babyhood, and they're so wise. They're just wise.
Yeah. I don't mind dropping names.
How about practical skills?
Practical skills. Yeah. I mean, I think that's what we were talking about, was like cooking and cleaning and whatnot.
Yeah, so
what do you mean?
So I was thinking, you like my lunchbox idea.
Oh, yeah! You have to share with them that, because
it's
this is really smart. This is a good time saver.
And because your time is precious, I think we'll talk more about, like, being really productive with your time. We were talking earlier today about, was it the law of expansion, and how if you say I have this task to do, it's the same task, but if you say, I have a week to do it, you're going to take a full week to do it. But if you say, I need to get done today, you're going to get it done today. So maybe make sure you jot down what your priorities are for that day. And you know what? People in the regular workforce, they lollygag. They're not efficient.
Well, have you ever noticed I get more done when I have a lot to do than when I don't have much to do?
Yeah. So let's say you set aside, I set aside 2 hours a day. That's my work time. And that's also building up me time too, and leadership time. That's my time. There's the extra meetings in here and there, but for the most part, the kids know that's my work time. And there's things I learned from, like, my older kids, what worked, what didn't work. So with my younger kids, So I've learned this little lunchbox method. And so in the morning, up till lunchtime is their time with my time with the kids. We're getting our schoolwork done, more hands-on stuff, one-on-one stuff. We have our rhythm in the morning. I guess we go back before that. After breakfast, I go ahead and I have those little like containers that have compartments in them. And so I make their lunches in the morning time. And so, because you're already in the kitchen, you're already doing cleanup. So, right now I have 3 little ones at home. So it's a little bit easier, I guess. But, the big ones are off college and doing all that kind of stuff. And, and so, I make it in the morning. So I have their lunch already ready. Because if you have a kid in school, you make your lunch in the morning, right, and you send it with them. But so I have it in the fridge, and so when we're done with our morning kind of homeschool stuff, lunchtime, I have it ready. I said, here you go, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for doing what you're supposed to be doing. Done. Playtime now. Who doesn't want 2 hours of playtime? Right. They've been sitting, doing work, listening, and learning. And so here's your lunch, and that takes, well, it depends on your kids. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes half an hour to eat lunch. Yeah. But there you go. I give them my kids. They're all old enough. They're not going to, die and choke on things. But give them their lunch at the table, and then I'm off. Yeah. Usually I'll, eat lunch before then. I'll eat lunch later. But I'm off. I go to my office, and that's my work time. I treat it like it's a job. Yes. I don't wait for things to come to me. I treat it like, that I don't have
you have office hours.
I have my own boss, but it is a job. Like, you have to go to work. And so it is a mind shift because you're not in mommy mode. You do have to multitask a lot still, though, because people still need things sometimes. But you train your kids. You train them. This is mommy's time.
Yeah. I mean, and you know what? I think it's great to be accessible to your kids. And, like, that's why we both are stay-at-home moms, right? We want to be with our kids. But our kids also need to learn to play on their own and how to deal with conflict on their own and, just how to entertain themselves. So I think a small 2 hours a day is not unreasonable, for your kids to do things.
And setting up boundaries. They need to know that, if it's an emergency, they know, of course, but it's like, this is my time. I'm getting work done. Yeah. And it is good to talk to your kids. And I'm learning this more and more. Like, they don't have to be on board, but it's good to talk to your kids about why you're doing what you're doing. Why is mommy working? Why do I spend 2 hours a day in my office?
Yeah. And we set up, hi Patty, thanks for joining us. Hey Rich, thanks for joining us. If you guys have questions too, put them in there. Yeah. Give us questions. But
yeah.
Oh crap, I lost my train of thought. Boundaries, what were you saying?
Boundaries, kids, knowing.
Oh, yes, so the why. Your kids knowing why you're doing it. And that's one thing we did with our business is setting up rewards. So when we meet certain goals, our whole family gets rewarded. So then the kids are more on board with like, okay, Mom, why don't you go talk to some more people? Why don't you go have another meeting? Why don't you go hang out with your work friends and go, go.
Then we get to,
because then we're sooner to our next fun thing we get to do as a family, So that's really been helpful. But I really think moms and that mom guilt and the stuff. What we're talking about here. Yeah. I'm a little tired. Sorry. But scheduling. This is one of my biggest things that I am just passionate about.
Interject. We talked for a whole day. It's past midnight now.
Oh wow!
Sorry. Anyways, sorry. I won't lose your train of thought.
I know, Patty. We had to do this because Heather flies out tomorrow morning. I drive out tomorrow morning, so it's fun. We need to do this while we're together. We'll do it next week, split screen. But this is fun. So I'm kind of more of the normal man's brain. I think I don't ask for directions. Okay, that's not fun to me. Okay, I'm that person in our relationship. But I'm also when I work, and when I'm with my kids, I'm with my kids. I don't like to mix the two. And I don't like to think about the other when I'm with the other. So this is what I really want. I found much freedom from, and I think that if you try this out, it'll help you. Schedule your time. So for me, mornings, I get up early. That's my work time. That's my time to get whatever I want done. Then kids get up. We have breakfast. We do schoolwork together. And Patty, you're awesome. And then
one of our mentors watching on the other screen.
Yeah. And then after lunch, then it's my time again, and so kind of the same situation, except for my husband is home. So that is a different thing. That's why I wanted Heather to talk to you, because I'm kind of spoiled at this season where I'm a stay-at-home homeschooling mom, but I also have a stay-at-home homeschooling dad. Yeah. So that's a different situation. But, So I have that time with my kids. It's in the morning. Hide the phone. You know, if you think of something you need to do, write it down on a piece of paper. Don't pick up the phone because it's like this wormhole, right? Like you're like, oh, I'm just going to send that one text. Wait, who's
or
it
texting?
Friend calls.
Or a friend calls. I have to say, man, I really want to talk to so-and-so, but I'm working right now.
Yeah.
If you're in an office position somewhere for some other company, can you take personal calls? Most people can't take personal calls at home. I mean, at work. Yeah. Work home.
If you want to be your own boss, you need to be your own boss.
And the beauty of that is you do get to set your own time. Maybe you're a night person. Maybe you can do your job at 10 at night or midnight. Maybe you're a morning person. Maybe your husband has a different type of a shift, so you have to change and adapt to that. Yeah.
And let's talk about husbands for a minute, because I think, and I meant to say this in the very beginning and I forgot, but when you're looking at, can I fit a business in? Ask hubby. Can you fit a business in? Okay, and I'm telling you, women, if you're complaining already about your workload, he's going to say no. Our husbands want to protect us, they don't want to listen to us whine.
And they're jealous of our time.
Yeah, and they want us.
So they're jealous of our time. So you have to be efficient. We talked about not wasting time. Being super, like, I almost call it like hyper productive. Like, you don't have time to waste time. Your time is so precious. If you have extra time, you go play with your kids or do your business. Like, I don't know, like,
make lists.
I think why.
Make sure you know exactly what you're doing.
And I think that's why the why is so important, because when you get sidetracked and doing something else, you're like, why am I doing this again? Like, you need to know. Like, your whole family needs to know. You need to be on board. You gotta know. Yeah.
I also think that, and this is something I've talked to some friends about doing, but I don't have it in place yet, but having like an accountability person for your business. And I would say, like, don't have this be your spouse. Really. Like, you don't want that. I don't think you want that dynamic in your relationship. But have another girlfriend, okay? Girls with girls, guys with guys, okay?
And especially ones that are business-minded. Yeah. That's a whole different, because they might just think you're crazy trying to run a business. Yeah. So you have to have, like, real support.
Yeah.
Someone that understands. Accountability. Not your friend that thinks you're just crazy, because guess what? 5 years later, she's going to be like, I wish I did what you did.
Yeah, and also don't get someone that's too nice to you, right? Like, honestly, like, you need someone that's going to be like...
Call you out.
Yeah. Because we all have stuff we struggle with, right? And sometimes we don't see it at all. Sometimes we don't. And, but some people will let you make your excuses. We all tell ourselves, we can all justify whatever we want. Really. So find someone that will call you on your crap, that you can be very honest with, and that is also kind of working at your pace. And maybe you don't know anybody like that in real life. There's tons of people on Facebook. I'm sorry, guys. Like, go find some else.
I mean, there's a good handful of entrepreneur moms out there that are in the business of raising kids still too. But you know what? Find an older woman. Yeah. I mean, they're kind of the best. They're kind of mommy-ish, and tell them what you need. Like, tell them, I need you to do this for me. Can you do this for me? Can you, I mean,
could you please?
Hey, Jade. Like, here's what I want you to do. Can you call me every week, and check in with me? Can you, like, most people like to know, like, this is what expectations. I mean, yeah.
Or maybe make a deal with yourself, set up those rewards for yourself. Like, whatever your goals are, like, even if it's like, I'm going to work on my business so many hours a day, or I'm going to make so many phone calls a day, or I'm going to, I don't know, make so many dresses a day, whatever your business is, and then give yourself some good rewards for that stuff. Yeah. Patty said, true. Chocolate. Don't be accountable to your spouse. That's a recipe for disaster. Yeah.
A really good reward is chocolate.
Tell us your favorite. You have a favorite.
Tell us this has already happened last time, I thought.
Did we talk about this?
I think so. I must have an obsession with Trader Joe's sugar-free dark chocolate.
Dark?
Oh, yes. I'm glad you don't like it.
I sneeze every time I have dark chocolate. One sneeze. It's the weirdest allergy ever. I don't know. It's not. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Yeah. Right.
So what else do we need to cover? What other things
did we talk about?
She asked about?
So this is one thing. My husband would sometimes come home to a crazy disaster and like art everywhere. Okay. And I would tell him, you know what?
Crazy fun.
Some days we're going to deep clean the house. Some days we're going to make amazing meals from scratch. And some days we're going to just lay on the couch and read books all day long. And some days we're going to just make art. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about one day of the week, right?
You don't have to do it every single day.
Right, yeah. Like, there's not enough time in a week to read all these books and make all the food and do all the things. But there is time in a month, you know? So I'm telling you, schedule it. Scheduling stuff gets rid of the guilt. If you have a schedule, when you're working on your business, you don't have to feel guilty about being with the kids because you're already with them, right? Fill their love tanks first. Okay, we didn't. Yeah. And fill the youngest one's love tanks first. Or maybe the neediest. You know your family.
Yeah.
Fill those love tanks.
If you have like toddlers, play with them in the morning while your other ones are maybe getting some independent stuff or getting stuff done.
Or making breakfast for your family.
Making breakfast, yeah. And play with that little ones down there. And then guess what? They're going to be much more willing to go play with, you know, cars or dollies or whatever on the floor or in the room while you're working with older kids and doing some schoolwork.
And have those older kids teach the younger kids. That's from that book that I think this is from that book, Managers of Their Home. It's an older book, but it's fantabulous. So it's like, she has you like go half an hour things. I don't want to live like that, but I think it's so good for you to even chart there. Have you guys seen the things where you chart your time, how you spend it in a week?
It's an eye-opener. How many people can be honest? How much time do you spend on TV? Like, that's something, like, we just don't have cable because it's a temptation. Remove it.
Or how much time do you just call gossiping with somebody? You know, you call your friend, oh, blah, 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 and you're not talking about anything really, but just...
If you use social media for your business, there's nothing wrong with that. Be purposeful, though. Be purposeful, okay? Don't... If you catch yourself just blindly or whatever scrolling through stuff, it's a bad habit. Don't do it. Don't get caught up in it. Purposeful social media.
Yeah.
Get in, get out.
Jade, I need you to help me here because this Jade Stacy, she is the smartest lady and she's so honest. I love Jade. We should do an interview, Jade. I want to interview you. She says, I'm all about I need statements. I'm confused. I don't know. I need a further... I need dark chocolate. Yeah, I need a further explanation.
Like
Moe's dark chocolate maple bacon bars. Yummy.
Maple bacon?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am, Miss Patty. Maple bacon. Mary, hello. But yeah, Jade's awesome. Her daughter is on the Olympic judo team. Judo? Is that right? I think that's right. But Jade's a feisty mama.
How about not being hard on yourself? That's kind of mom guilt. But like you don't have to be Superwoman. You don't have to.
Yeah. Like, I love Ann Voskamp.
You're a real person.
Okay. Have you ever read Ann Voskamp stuff?
I know that name.
Is that bad to admit? Okay, she's a homeschooling mom. She wrote like something about rest or something like that.
Oh, yes.
But she talks really flower girly, and I'm like, I need bullet points, get to the point. I'm sorry, I can't read it. But I started reading this one thing from her. No, maybe it was a blog post. I mean, that was shorter. I could go through that faster. But she talked about how just unrealistic expectations, okay? And she talks about how she has, I think, 5 or 6 kids, lives on a farm up in Canada, and she said her father-in-law lives next door. Well, father-in-law, his kids all went to school, and his wife kept the house clean all the time because the kids were at school, right? They weren't in the house, making it a wreck, going in and out 40 times a day, okay? At her house, you walk in, and there's shoes everywhere. Jonna! Hey, I need an ETA. I need to talk to you. I thought maybe you'd be asleep. Sorry.
These people are awake too.
Everybody's up tonight. Party.
Everyone's inspired.
So, you know, she said she had to give herself grace because she knew her father-in-law didn't like the state of her house. Okay, there's a difference between being like gross and being messy because you were living all the time.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think we need to remember that like the state of a house when kids are at school all day and mom doesn't work and she's at home cooking and cleaning is completely different than when you have a whole bunch of people in and out all day long. So give yourself grace.
Yeah.
Like, massive grace.
I used to be really hard on myself when I wanted this really neat and tidy house, and I really had to work on letting that go because would I rather spend time... I mean, I do like a nice, clean, tidy house, but if people come over, like, hopefully they're not judging me, but, you know, it's like... I don't want them coming over and be like, her house is always tidy. Because then they're kind of like saying whatever I do, they can't do. Because maybe they don't keep their house clean. So I just let that go. And we all do a collective cleanup and it's fairly clean. But it's not like, I'd rather sit and play Legos with my little guy than I would scrub something down extra. You know, like priorities. Know your priorities.
And also, like, I haven't cleaned a bathroom in like, I need that. I can't have you take that, sorry.
Our props.
Can you put something behind it? We trade it or something? Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. I haven't cleaned a bathroom in like 10 years.
Train your kids, yeah.
Yeah, but my bathroom's clean. Okay. So have your kids do those things. Like, you don't need to be doing that, Mom. Do the things that Mom has to do. Okay. But the things that Mom doesn't have to do, what's the delegate?
Delegate.
Delegate, appropriate. Thanks, honey.
And just think of things in little chunks. Like, everyone's heard the analogy, like, how do you eat an elephant? You might have this huge, you might be a big dreamer. You might have this huge goal of building a business. And businesses do not happen overnight. You do not build something overnight. It takes time, effort, energy. But, it's baby steps in the right direction. But you have to take baby steps. If you think you're going to do it in one big leap, you're crazy. But if you stop taking baby steps, then you're not going to get there. Like, you have to take...
Right. You have to move forward. You have to do something. And Jade, thank you for elaborating on what you said. You guys need to read the comments and read what Jade said, because that was awesome.
And reach out to people. Like I said, like she said before, like, if you don't know anybody who's a mom and entrepreneur or a business owner, find somebody who is.
I have found some of my best mentors and friends online. There are people on Facebook that I have never met in real life yet. We've talked on the phone, we've talked on video and chat and whatnot, that are some of the most inspirational people in my life. Okay? So, like, don't think they have to live next door. You meet everybody.
Or be your best friend. That could happen too.
I was confused, but I get it. Yeah. They don't have to be your best friend. Everybody's my best friend. I hate that term, best friend. Okay. I hate it. That's a whole other topic for another day. But, because it's so like, this is my best friend. Nobody else talked to her. She's mine.
But best does not mean one.
But I think that's how people interpret it. But okay, so let's sidetrack. But there was something I want to talk to you about, though, about family charting. I forget now.
Time, not being time wasters.
Yeah, I don't know.
Self-care?
Self-care.
Self-care. How about that? I love saying self-care is not selfish. As a mom, as a person who likes to take care of people and make sure everybody's happy, and lots of moms are that way, we feel guilty. It's another mom guilt thing too, of taking care of ourselves. But you know what? Guess what? You can't pour out what you don't have.
But we also need to be realistic. Okay?
Why don't we go to the spa and get everything done every single day?
Right?
I mean,
because some people
say
that. I need to go shopping. I need 4 hours alone every day so I can function properly.
Yeah. Have your priorities in place, yeah. And for me, I mean, it's quiet. I get up early before my kids. I get my walk in then. I get my quiet. I need quietness to start my day off calm, because it's like going...
It's not calm when your kids wake up?
I need to start my day off right. And so I take my time. I get my walk done. I get my stretching done. I get my devotionals done. I have my cup of tea. Like, it's calm. And then I'm ready for chaos.
So I remembered what I was going to tell you guys.
Ready to put your feet on the floor and run. I don't know.
Not stretching.
I'm one of those people, though, that I really do. I kind of run around because it's not frantic. It's just because I like to get stuff done and be really productive and efficient. And sometimes, I like running. So it all works together.
Right, yeah.
So I run down the hallway back to my office and get this.
I used to run at this one job I had. I worked in a manufacturing company, and I would have to, if something went down on the production line, I'd have to run back to the machinist. Well, but they didn't like it when I ran. They're like, Melissa, you scare us. We think somebody's like caught in the machine. But I'm like, why would I walk way back there when I can just book it on down there?
More efficient.
Okay, so way off task, but back to the cleaning thing. Back to the cleaning thing. I had this friend share with me the best idea ever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know it.
She said,
"Women open to learn at all times."
Women, stop cleaning your house when you invite people over for dinner, because men, for the most part, only go into a house when it has been cleaned up, perfect, right? Like spotless for dinner party, and then they have this unrealistic thought that everybody's house looks like that all the time, but they know at your house there's a pile of books everywhere, coloring crayons are still sitting out, and there's like 40 shoes by the door.
Yeah, it's lived in.
Right? But they don't see that when they go to your friend's house. So they said the best thing that you could do for your mom friends is don't clean up, but invite people over.
Invite them anyways, because they're not coming to see your house, they're coming to see you. They want fellowship. They want friendship. They want.
But have somebody clean the toilet, because that's just gross. Like, you shouldn't do it, moms. But have one of those
big
kids.
Family.
If they're 4 or older, they could clean the toilet. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and do dishes.
Mm-hmm.
We train our kids to do dishes. My 7-year-old's on dish duty, and they have chores. That's a whole other thing too. Chores. Get organized. I don't know. Like, it takes a little bit of effort to get organized at first, and you don't have to follow. Like, I don't like the word routine as much as I like the word rhythm. I like to have a rhythm to my day, but not necessarily like a routine. So
like Jade says that she's crazy clean. Sorry, gals. It is for self-care. So it's funny, we all have different things. Like, I really like washing the dishes. Like, I don't really want the kids to do that. I mean, like, I don't want to do it all the time, but I'm the main dishwasher at our house, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So
mine is book time. I love reading, and I love being outside, so...
I think Ryan wants to get on this video with us.
Yeah. The peanut gallery over there.
I know. But I think it's a good thing, though, is to realize, like, what you need. And we all are different, and what works exactly for her isn't going to work exactly for me, and vice versa, and with all of you. But if we share enough tips, and we're all just sharing what works, we're going to try some things out.
Like, you shouldn't feel like you're on this, like, you're the only mom anywhere that's trying to run a business and mother your children and not have mom guilt and so on and so on.
And you're teaching your kids a lot from that. I mean, if that's what God's calling you to do, and if those are the giftings He gave you, use them, and we do have to be mindful, because this time is short with our children, and there'll be plenty of time when they're older to even work more. And I think that's a struggle. Her and I, if you haven't noticed, we're kind of maybe both type A, a little bit.
Yeah, that's probably why we fight so much.
Her and I?
No, you and
I think my husband's really tired over here.
I
don't know. So, anyhow, but that thing of, like, you just want to work more and more, and it's because it is rewarding when you work. It's kind of like, getting a grade report.
Report card.
Report card, thank you. It's nice to get a report card or get a paycheck. Those things feel good because you don't really get that much as a mom. But we have to be mindful, though, not to work too much.
For my kids. They pay me.
Oh, what are they paying?
Kisses and snuggles and hugs.
Awesome.
Those are priceless. It's like a commercial.
Yeah.
I think we should probably wrap up.
Yeah, I think we should. We're like delirious people. You guys are still on. You guys are awesome. Thanks for joining us.
My people are all sleeping because I'm from the West Coast. They're all sleeping. Actually, wait. It's not opposite. Isn't it earlier there?
She's really tired.
Okay, never mind. I'm tired. I'm going to get on a big bird and fly home tomorrow.
Thank you guys for joining us. We want to keep doing this. So if you think, what's something we would love to hear Melissa and Heather ramble about again?
Shoot us some topics. Yeah. Give us some topics. Give us some ideas, and we're pretty open. So
yeah, we definitely aren't perfect, but we both. What I think we have for you is that we love to get information. So we're both like sucking it in from podcasts, books, mentors, whatever, and so there's a lot of info up here. So we would love to share with you. Love you, Jonna. Have a good night. I'll see you at 5 a.m., Jonna. Oh, it's going to be fun. Okay. We love you guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you next week sometime.
Yeah, it'll have to be a split screen because we have to be in different states. We've been really spoiled lately.
Yeah, it's been wonderful.
But the cool thing is we're doing lives together, but we've been at different states when we've done lives. So maybe next month or next week we need to be in a different state doing a live together.
Yeah, there we go. But, what's funny, before 2 weeks ago, like, we hadn't seen each other in, like, 4 years. Yeah, I had. Nathan was a baby. You can unplug me now. Not Nathan, JoJo.
Yeah,
JoJo was a baby. It was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So, we're super enjoying having this time together, and I'm glad you guys get a little kick out of
and teaming up to inspire you guys.
Yeah, because we've both been doing this on our own.
Yeah.
Different things, but this is super fun to do.
Collaborate. Yeah. I'm going to collaborate with my pillow now.
Okay, sorry. Ice.
Bye.
Bye.